This week in Retrospect. Recent farm fatalities spark up concern during the 1990 Farm Safety Week in Alberta.
It's Farm Safety Week across the country, and things look a little grim for Alberta. Over the past few years, there have been a small number of farm fatalities in the province. Up until last April, there have been 7, the latest being a small baby which drowned in a slough on a farm near Pine Lake. Barb MacArthur is the district home economist for Vermilion River, and she thinks the reason for the increase is the poor economy.
If there is a problem, or it can be attributed to one problem, I think it is the tougher economy. People on farms now are under greater stress financially, and regardless of where they are in their business, whether they're a beginning farm or a farm that has been well established.
She adds many farmers have to take more chances to keep ahead in this day and age, and when they get away with one chance, they keep pushing their luck until they get caught. MacArthur adds if the economy does manage to rebound, there will be a marked drop in the number of farm accidents and fatalities.
Yes, I think as pressure lessens on farm families, and as we, in agriculture find a few more ways to deal with this tougher economy, and the pressure lets off, I think there is probably going to be a let-up.
Vermilion River is not doing anything specific for Farm Safety Week other than releasing a newsletter reminding people to be careful. The real work is done during slow times during the crop year, when she gets together with equipment retailers to have farm safety seminars and using the equipment as teaching tools. She says it becomes seasonal and runs every year, and she adds if you can catch the farmers when they're not busy, they tend to retain more of the information. Kevin Wilson, Broadcast Center News.
And in 1997, efforts were made to rescue stranded cows from a flooded pasture.
The river got fairly seriously high on the weekend, about Saturday, Sunday, and we've been working at it the last couple of days.
Almost half of Blatz's herd is in deep water. Literally, 30 cows and calves were trapped when their grazing land became submerged. They refused to swim to safety, and the amount of high land above water is quickly shrinking.
They're scared to go in. There's a lot of current in some places, and when they actually get into the river part where the current is, they're just scared to go in, that's all. As long as they can, stand on a little dry ground, they won't enter that swift current, that's all.
This area behind me is where the road and pasture used to be less than a week ago. Now it's all underwater. In some places, the backwater is over 30 feet deep. And although the water continues to rise 11 inches every 24 hours, the rescue operation continues or the cows will die. About 10 people, friends, family, and neighbors armed with 3 bows and some rope have already been at this for several days. They scare the animals out of the willows where they're hiding and try to lasso the calves and take them to dry land. The mothers will usually swim over during the night. So far, it's worked. Only 9 cows and their calves remain trapped.
They're coming your way, you guys.
We knew it was rising. I knew they were over there, but I didn't expect the river to come this high, I guess, and maybe waited a little too long or whatever. But I tried sooner to get them out, and they just wouldn't come. As long as you got lots to eat, they're not going to come out till they're trapped, I guess.
Almost 200 acres have been flooded along the Beaver River in this area due to the large amount of rain. Other farmers have also had to rescue animals. Platt says it's nice to be able to count on neighbors.
If it wasn't for neighbors and friends and relatives, well, you couldn't do it by yourself, so you need them.
Most of this hard-working crew can't even swim, but that hasn't stopped them from lending a hand. Their spirits are about the only thing that hasn't been dampened. No luck on this fishing trip, but the cows were scared onto higher ground. Calves caught earlier in the day will spend the night here as bait to lure their mothers across. The rescue operation will continue until everyone is safe and sound. And the Blatzes hope one day soon they will again be able to tell where their pasture ends and the river begins. Near Meadow Lake, Julie Matthews, NewsHour.
And lastly, shortage of physicians in the year 2000 changes the face of pharmacies in the province.
As it becomes increasingly difficult to get an appointment with the doctor, more people are turning to their local drugstores for advice, and it's changing the face of pharmacy.
I know that when I talk to people who graduated 20 years ago, they counted, they labeled, that was the end of the story. So I don't know if it's the shortage of physicians that made this or that we're more accessible. I think that's part of it. You don't have to make an appointment to see me. You just push open the front door. You may have to stand for a little while, but you'll see me.
The problem can also be attributed to the aging baby boomer population. More people require prescriptions and things like blood pressure pills. As well, there is limited enrollment of pharmacy students in universities, and upon graduation, more of them are leaving the province.
Since we're a smaller community, it seems like we have a little bit more trouble attracting people to our area. People coming out of university, might not see this as a place to live.
In the States, for example, the starting wage for a pharmacist right out of school can be as high as $80,000 a year. That's difficult to compete with. Rural communities are having a hard enough time as it is filling the shifts with the pharmacists they have now.
If we think someone's going to quit, or somebody tells us, I'm quitting or I'm going on a mat leave, it's a big deal. We're short and we need a body.
These days, pharmacists spend a great deal more time with each individual customer, counseling them about medications. It's something people have come to depend on.
I get most of my advice from the druggists.
Well, I don't know. Your doctor should be the one, but I think your pharmacist knows what's in the drugs.
Doctors, if he can't do his job, or the people aren't asking him the questions, they rely on somebody that's not so busy. They can't get in to see their doctor.
It's evident something has to change, whether that means increasing enrollment or offering more incentives to work in rural communities. As it is, pharmacists in Lloydminster already make $3 to $4 an hour more than their Edmonton or Saskatoon counterparts. Rochelle Chandria, NewsHour.
And that's all for this week in Retrospect.
Retrospect is brought to you by Webb's Machinery. Find New Holland products at Webb's Machinery, your dealer in Vermilion, Vegreville, Lamont, Wainwright, St. Paul, and Consort.